Hi, in this video, I will cover an overview of the IELTS test. Test takers can choose between IELTS Academic and IELTS General Training, depending on their academic or professional aspirations or visa requirements. The difference between the two versions of the test is that the reading and writing components of IELTS Academic have subject matter and tasks suitable for the test takers entering undergraduate or postgraduate studies, while IELTS General is meant for immigration aspirants. The listening and speaking components are the same for both. Let's now look at the format of the listening test, which is for 30 minutes plus 10 minutes for transferring the answers to the answer sheet. Test takers listen to 4 recorded texts, monologues and conversations by a range of native speakers and write their answers to a series of questions. There are 40 questions. A variety of question types are used, chosen from the following: multiple choice, matching, plan, map, diagram labeling, form completion, note completion, table completion, flowchart completion, summary completion, sentence completion, short answer questions. Let's look at the test parts. There are 4 sections. Section 1 is a conversation between two people set in an everyday social context. Section 2 is a monologue set in an everyday social context. Section 3 is a conversation between up to 4 people set in an educational or training context. Section 4 is a monologue on an academic subject. Each section is heard only once. A variety of voices and native speaker accents are used. While the listening test is for 30 minutes, an additional 10 minutes are provided to transfer the answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. You want to know how marking works? Each correct answer receives 1 mark. Scores out of 40 are converted to the IELTS 9-band scale. Scores are reported in whole and half bands. Let's now look at the reading test, which is for 60 minutes. The general training version requires test takers to record extracts from newspapers, advertisements, instruction manuals, and books. These are materials test takers could encounter on a daily basis in an English-speaking country. The academic version includes 3 long texts, which range from the descriptive and factual to the discursive and analytical. The texts are authentic and are taken from books, journals, magazines and newspapers and are on academic topic of general interest. All have been selected for a non-specialist audience. There are 40 questions. A variety of question types are used, chosen from the following: multiple choice, identifying information, identifying a writer's views, claims, matching information, matching features, matching sentence endings, sentence completion, summary completion, note completion, table completion, flowchart completion, diagram label completion, short answer questions. There are usually 3 sections. The total text length is 2150 to 2750 words. Section 1 contains 2 or 3 short factual texts, one of which may be composite. Topics are relevant to everyday life in an English-speaking country. Section 2 contains 2 short factual texts focusing on work-related issues. Section 3 contains 1 longer, more complex text on a topic of general interest. Texts are authentic and are taken from notices, advertisements, company handbooks, official documents, books, magazines, and newspapers. How does marking for reading test? Each correct answer receives 1 mark. Scores out of 40 are converted to the IELTS 9-band scale. Let's now look at the writing test, which is also for 60 minutes. The general training version includes 2 tasks and is based on topics of general interest. Task 1. Test takers are presented with a situation and are asked to write a letter requesting information or explaining the situation. The letter may be personal, semi-formal or formal in style. Task 2. Test takers are asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument or problem. The essay can be slightly more personal in style than the academic writing task 2 essay. Marking for writing is subjective but based on some clear criteria. You are assessed on your performance on each task by certificated IELTS examiners according to the IELTS writing test assessment criteria. Task 2 contributes twice as much as Task 1 to the writing score. Scores are reported in whole and half bands. Now let's understand how speaking test works. The speaking component assesses the test taker's use of spoken English and takes between 11 and 14 minutes to complete. Every test is digitally recorded and consists of 3 parts. Part 1. Test takers answer general questions about themselves and a range of familiar topics such as their home, family, work, studies and interests. This part lasts between 4 and 5 minutes. Part 2. Test takers are given a cue card which asks them to talk about a particular topic. They have 1 minute to prepare before speaking for up to 2 minutes. The examiner may ask 1 or 2 questions on the same topic to finish this part of the test. Part 3. Test takers are asked further questions which are connected to the topic in Part 2. These questions give the candidate an opportunity to discuss more abstract issues and ideas. This part lasts between 4 and 5 minutes. The format of the speaking test is common across both the academic and general training versions. It is structured in such a way that does not allow test takers to rehearse set responses beforehand. Note that marking for speaking test is also subjective like writing but based on clear criteria. You are assessed on your performance throughout the test by certificated IELTS examiners according to the IELTS speaking test assessment criteria. I hope you have now understood the format of the exam. You may want to review the video again a few more times to make sure that you have completely understood it. Don't worry if you still have some doubts. Many of the doubts will go away once you have taken a few more practice tests. Best of luck and happy learning!